Joe, the three-point shooting there wasn't good there all night, but you guys made up for the first half really good and had a lot of success in that coming away in the second half. What did you feel like was causing struggle in the second half offensively?
Yeah, I mean, it was a number of things. We had 17 points off turnovers in the second half. So that's a product of poor spacing, poor physicality on the ball, and just poor screening. They're a team that fights for matchups, and thought we did a great job of that in the first half. And those 17 points off turnovers, I think, were the difference maker down the stretch.
What do you think changed in that sense? Because they feel like the ball control was pretty good in the first half.
Yeah, I think it's a level of intentionality on our screening, a level of intentionality on our spacing. They do a great job of taking advantage of poor spacing, and I just thought in the beginning of the third, I thought we got some good looks that didn't go in, and then after that, we just couldn't get our spacing back, and they take advantage of that, with their activity.
Joe, what did they do in the second half defensively? He's got to score 27 points after 65 in the first half. Like, it had to be something they did. Was it physical? What did they do?
I said part of it was they changed matchups, and then they took advantage of our poor spacing and our poor screening, and I think those were the two biggest things. And I mean, obviously they probably upped the pressure a little bit, but those 17 points off turnovers, and then just multiple empty possessions with poor spacing. We got to fight for better spacing in those situations against a good defensive team.
Joe, you talk a lot about poor spacing and how that's going to be the thing that leads to a lot of issues. In the moment when you're realizing spacing is bad, like, is there any intervention that can be done? Like, is there anything you can do or say or just pause? How do you fix that?
I mean, it's something you got to commit to every possession. As you're playing the game and going through it and looking to process each possession, you just got to fight for great spacing on every possession. Sometimes different matchups and different coverages will mess it up. There was like a possession there that we ran a pin down and they got it, and it was empty side and we didn't get the corners filled, and they were able to take advantage of that. So a large portion of that is just kind of the discipline and continuing to do it over and over again each possession as you try to work through the flow of the game.
You guys gonna learn from this one, kind of expectations going in. You imagine it one way and then it goes this way. What do you kind of take from that?
Yeah, I mean, nobody imagined anything. There was no imagining, or the expectation was to play 48 minutes. I think you look at the first half that we were able to put together, but at the same time, you have it to 13 and we give up 2 offensive rebounds at the end of the second quarter. Like, stuff like that keeps teams alive. And then just every possession matters, whether it's offense or defense. Just critical possessions that we have to be better on both sides of the ball, and we got to just continue to work at that.
Jim, in 21 that first half, you didn't score in the second half. Do you see anything there in his game or the way they changed coverages on him to make it more challenging?
Yeah, they moved to him. That had a little bit to do with it. But I think there's times where, again, we have to fight for our spacing to give guys opportunities to score. And, obviously if that happens, that's on me, that's on everybody. But, we just got to be better offensively.
Joe, when you guys are struggling, are guys maybe trying to do a little too much on their own, a little too much one-on-one, try to do something themselves to get you guys out of that second half, right?
No, I think it's more about the spacing. I think we want guys to do that when we have the right spacing, which I thought we did that in the first half. And so that comes out. That's everything. Spacing is offense, and so we have to fight to be more disciplined in that.
You talked about having to give something up, and it was the threes the door. I mean, you got to give something up to this team. It seemed like it worked until maybe the last 4 minutes, and then you got you.
Well, when you score 27 points and a half, it puts a ton of pressure on your defense. And so you have to be able to withstand that with offensive execution. And so I think that we held the fort down as long as we could on the defensive end, and then they had the breakthrough because of that.
You guys had 24 points in the paint in the second quarter. Like, the spacing looked great there.
Yeah.
Getting that protected phases. So what did change in terms of how that in the second half?
Again, they changed matchups, they changed coverages. So we just got to be just fight for great spacing. Kind of every possession.
Did they do something specific to stop the three-pointer, maybe compared to the average team? I think they lead the league in opposing percentage.
Yeah, I mean, they do a good job closing out. They do a good job with high hands. I thought we had some open ones that we missed. I thought there was some we could have got better on, but they do a good job with their